Hello everybody and welcome to the Civic Cup Championship round number 5, and we're here at the Autopolis short circuit, a very wet Autopolis short circuit. Sorry, it's the Hot Hatch Cup, got that wrong there. Okay, never mind. So yeah, it's a very wet track, 8 drivers for this race, and I'll see if I can do both races in the same stream, but knowing my luck, it's going to crash on me, so we might have to do them separately. Right, let's go through the grid then for race number 1, the sprint race, 10 minutes of racing, and on pole position is LS Deno, MVP Deno, the founder of MVP Racing. Alongside him on the front row is MVP KBE36. Then comes Equal Pants, MVP Pants in P3 and Stu Shelton in P4. Simon Westland in P5. Alongside him on row number 3 is Brian. Then we have Frowny and Pilo rounding off the grid. So without further ado, let's get ready for the start of the race. So yes, as my phone's going off, let's just make sure that is not going off throughout this stream. That's not what I want. So as we get ready, as the end of notes rise here at Autopolis for the sprint race, 5 red lights. Oh, it's a bit of a jump start there from someone. I think that's the outside of row number 3. That is Brian. Brian gets off to a sluggish start as my clock goes off once again. And it's a good start from MVP Deno. Kaylee gets off to a sluggish start. He's dropped down into 3rd spot, but not as bad as Brian, as he's made a jump start there as they all come gingerly through turn 1, and MVP Deno holds the lead here ahead of MVP Pants. Then we've got KB, Frowny in 4th, West there in 5th. So very good start there from Frowny actually. He's up into 4th. Stu Shelton's dropped down into 6th spot, Pilo in 7th, Brian in 8th. Right, let's look up the front here. MVP Deno leading the way here, ahead of MVP Pants, who's got the jump on KB. As to now head into the hairpin. KB moving about a lot there. Now, I'm not quite sure. I've not been in wet conditions on this game yet, believe it or not. So I'm not sure if wet lines work in this game as of yet. And if someone's watching in the chat, that might be nice if you let me know about that. But I'm not sure if anyone is at the moment in the stream. Frowny there doing a good job in 4th spot. Stu Shelton. Oh, something's happened to Wes. Let's have a look. He must have had an incident somewhere. Oh, he went under the gravel. So too did Brian through the fast right-hander. Right, okay, let's go up the field and look at the race leaders. And Deno is extending his advantage to MVP Pants. And we've got KB. We're going to go on board here with KB looking at the back of MVP Pants. As they now head towards the final couple of corners here. And a shallower line here from MVP KB as the track will then drop away mid-corner. So you've got to be careful on the throttle here, because if you're too eager on the power, you're going to drift out wide. But it's a very good exit here from MVP KB. He's in the slipstream, he's in the toe, and he's going to pull to the inside line here. KB looking towards the inside, and I think we'll have P2 as long as he gets it nice and under control. On the braking zone, he gives MVP Pants a bit of a squeeze here, but just keeps just enough room so he just about holds on. It's a bit very good, very, very respectful race from Frowny so far. And we're going to go back on board with KB, looking back at MVP Pants. Slightly shallower line there from KB to try and get a bit more entry speed in. Pants got a bit of a better exit, but then we went straight into another corner, so we didn't really gain too much from it. But a wider line here from KB through the hairpin, which will be nicer on the tyres as you try and get on the power. So it's contrasting lines in the wet around this circuit. And now going to go down the fields. Pilo there in 5th. Brian trying to battle as well. Brian really trying to get involved here. We've got West there not far behind. Brian looking to the inside, into the hairpin. Can he get the job done? Yes, he can. He stops it on the apex. Pilo's gone wide, actually. There was some contact between Brian and West mid-corner. But Pilo, I don't know what happened there. That was really bizarre. But he drops down. West has understeered wide. He's onto the gravel. So Pilo's gone off there as well. And Stu Shelton takes 7th spot. Let's go back up to the front. MVP Deno still leads the way here. Ahead of KB. MVP Pants. Then comes Frowny. I don't know if maybe these drivers... Maybe it's getting wetter or it's getting drier. One of the two. I don't actually know if it's... Because I don't know if there's not as much spray. So maybe they went full wet here. I'm going to have a quick check if everyone's on the same tyres. So it's intermediates. Pilo's on the softs. Stu Shelton's on the soft. West is on the softs. And so is Brian. Okay. Now that... Frowny. Okay, that's interesting. Frowny and Pants are both on the wets. Deno and KB are on the intermediates. Right. So this is very interesting. Okay. So it's obviously intermediate running right now. But the track is getting drier. We're 6 minutes into the race. I can't look at the radar, unfortunately, but the track is getting drier. There is visibly nowhere near as much spray. So, Brian, Simon, Stu Shelton, and Pilo are all counting on the track drying out, and MP Deno, KB, MP Pants, and Frowny all coming towards them. It's certainly not wet tyre running now, and MP Pants is really going to be starting to struggle with his. With his grip here, it got a bag full of understeer there through that corner there. These two are gapping here as Brian has really broken away actually from the rest of his group here. But MVP Deno is starting to stretch away here from MVP KB. So Brian is out on his own. And we've got to watch these lap times. They're only 3 seconds off. Well, Brian's only 3 seconds off. I don't know if he had an off on the last lap. He's really pushing that car to as hard as it will go. And this is a very, very interesting race because MVP Deno goes purple with a 117.6. KB to the 117.7. MVP Pants is a whole second off, and we've got blue skies here. We can see a dry line forming. This is really, especially Frowny and MVP Pants, this is really going to hurt these two because they have full wet tyres, and we got Brian on the soft tyres, who in a couple of lap times him and everyone else are going to be the quickest drivers on the track. So, I'm just making sure I'm not muted. Yeah, I'm definitely not muted. West looking on the back of Stu Shelton. Pilo's there in 8, but the track is visibly drying here. MVP Deno, as they head into this final sector, and 8/10 quicker. MVP Pants is 8/10 quicker than his best, but he's a full second off the front two. What's Brian going to be doing is he's not far off the front drivers, and he's going to be getting really, really quick now. As if we look at the thing on the bottom left, that is the amount of water that's on the circuit, and I think that is now starting to get into the zone of the slick tyres. I think the top bar is the wet where wets are going to be the ideal tyre. As yes, Brian is going purple here, so 3 minutes to go, but it looks like I think it's too little too late here for the drivers on slicks, which is a shame because it would have been nice to see a last minute charge from Brian, but MVP Deno still leads the way here to KB in second, and MVP Pants and Frowny are really just trying to keep the car on the track now, because those wet tyres are really going to be a pain to drive. Brian has set a new fastest lap of 1:15.2. he is flying here. West is done a 1:15.4, and Stu Shelton is really trying to pressure on. But the thing is, as soon as these two, or one of these two goes offline, they're going to lose a lot of grip. Stu Shelton looking to the inside, can't get the move done. But now he's got a good exit, has Stu Shelton. They're going to be side by side as we now head through the long left-hander. But just West just about holds on. We go back up the field, and Deno holding the same gap to MVKB, and I don't know whether to watch the battles, watch to see what Brian's doing, but this is very, very interesting indeed, this race. And it seems like MV Deno and MVKB can't really get too much quicker. Frowney and MVP Pants will now be being caught hand over fist. And that's a 1:13.4 from Brian. But he's missed the apex there slightly, as Brian. 1:13.8 from West as well. Stu Shelton is not too far behind. He must have made a mistake that lap. 13.8 for Pilo. We've got 1 minute left though, so it's not going to be enough time unless there's a mistake from Pants and Frowney for the drivers on slicks to catch up, which is unfortunate. It was a gamble for those front runners. I think it was a bit of a gamble actually from MVP Pants and Frowney to go on the full wet. But this is about for lead. We've got 1 lap to go now. It's 1:16.6, so it's 3 seconds quicker on the slick tyres as KB is looking towards the inside into turn 1. Can't get the job done. And I wish I would have looked at this tyre situation sooner, because then I'd have a better understanding of what is going on, as it's 2 tenths quicker from KB on his previous best, which was 16.5. But the track is fully dry now, and Deno is just trying to hold on here from MVP KB, but I think KB is going to try and put so much pressure on, but I think Deno is so wise here and should be able to hold on. I don't actually know who's got this, but I think Deno looks in a lot of control. Seems the car is doing exactly what it wants him to do, even though he's on the wrong tyres for these conditions. MVP Deno coming towards the last couple of corners and holds on just about. KB getting very close, but didn't mount a challenge. This left-hander to go. KB taking an awful lot of curve, but it will be MVP Deno that takes the victory. KB will come home in second. MVP Pants will hold on for P3 ahead of Frowney. The 2 drivers on the wets coming 3rd and 4th. And I've got to say, hats off to Brian, who's going purple to this sector here. He has driven this incredibly well. He has been the best of all the drivers on the slick tyres by quite some margin as well. He dominates out of everyone on the slicks, and a couple more laps, a couple minutes earlier, that would have been his. West coming home in 6th, setting a fast lap in the process. Stu Shelton in 7th, and Pilo coming home in 8th. So let's exit, and hopefully the game does not crash on me. It does. Right, I'll see you guys for the feature race in a second.